Now, from the Low Country's news leader, this is Live 5 News.
New tonight, the South Carolina Highway Patrol is investigating a crash in Berkeley County.
According to Highway Patrol, the crash happened on Black Oak Road near Theamar Lane near Bono. There are injuries reported, but we are still working to learn the extent of those injuries and just how many vehicles were involved.
Both lanes on Black Oak Road are completely closed as of 10 p.m. tonight. We're, of course, working to learn more about the incident, and we'll keep you updated on air and online as we learn more.
Well, a live look over the Holy City tonight. Temperatures warmed up nicely today, but they have since dropped back down.
Chief Meteorologist Bill Walsh in the Weather Center for us. Bill, any chance for some warm weather tomorrow?
Oh, we're going to warm up a little bit tomorrow, guys, and even a little warmer as we make our way into our middle of the week Wednesday. Overnight tonight, not as cold, too. It'll be cool, chilly, but we're not going to have those freezing temperatures. In fact, live picture out there behind me, not looking too bad. Temperature right now is at 48 degrees. We'll stay in the 40s as we head into the overnight hours. Some 30s maybe well back inland, but super Doppler max, all quiet, even at this hour from the lakes, Moncks Corner back toward Georgetown, all the way down to the coast, down to Beaufort, out to Walterboro, looking pretty quiet. There are showers, though, out here, right out to the west. That's right along and ahead of this weather system that's pushing eastward, and that will increase our chance of rain by, say, tomorrow evening. So as far as overnight tonight, again, not quite as cold. We'll probably be in the low 40s, Goose Creek, Moncks Corner, maybe some upper 30s, King Street, over to Manning, back toward Orangeburg, maybe up towards St. George, about 38 to 40 out Walterboro, some mid-40s on the beaches. So as far as the bus stop in the morning, as an average, we'll go right around, say, 42, 43. We'll call it partly cloudy and on the chilly side. Now, coming up for us, the next big thing, are you ready for a little midweek warm-up? I'll have more on that, so stick around.
Well, the Low Country lost one of its most prominent natives today, Arthur Ravenel Jr.
Yeah, Ravenel went on to become a public servant for more than 20 years, that according to the South Carolina State House.
Anna Harris spoke with close friends of Ravenel to hear more about what he was like as a person outside of politics, as she joins us live from the famous Ravenel Bridge. Anna?
Yes, Michael and Cameron, the people that knew him say that losing him is a tremendous loss for the Low Country. People that knew him call him Cousin Arthur because he was just that friendly and everyone liked him.
He was a charming man with a wonderful accent, and he was a quintessential Low Country man.
Arthur Ravenel Jr. was born in Charleston in 1927 and graduated from the College of Charleston in 1950. He served in the South Carolina House from 1953 to 58, later serving in the Senate from 1981 to 1986, and again from 1997 to 2003. He was also a member of the U.S. Congress from 1987 to 95, before eventually becoming a member of the Charleston County School Board.
There have only been 3 natural politicians that I can name. Arthur Ravenel was one of them.
Longtime Live 5 former anchor Bill Sharp says Ravenel played a major role in funding a Low Country landmark, the Arthur Ravenel Jr. Bridge.
Very bright man. He got a lot done for the Low Country. He brought the Republican Party here, got it established, and his crowning achievement was he got the Arthur Ravenel Bridge built here.
Ravenel touched the lives of many in the political world.
I never saw left or right, Democrat, Republican. He always looked to the future and wanted to do what's best for people.
Congresswoman Nancy Mace tweeted, "Today we lost a great friend of the Low Country and former representative of South Carolina's 1st Congressional District, Arthur Ravenel Jr. Our prayers are with the Ravenel family this evening." Charleston Mayor John Tecklenburg released a statement, quote, "Cousin Arthur loved Charleston in his bones, and Charleston loved him back. Over the course of 95 remarkable years, he was a Marine, a business leader, a family man, and a distinguished public servant at every level of government. Put simply, his was a life in full, a life of joy and meaning and consequence, and he will be much missed."
When you can go through this life for 90 plus years and never hear someone speak bad of an individual, that tells you something, that this person is genuine, loved by all, and lived a full life and a true life.
We are waiting to hear back from any of the funeral arrangements, and on behalf of Live 5, our thoughts and prayers go out to the Ravenel family at this time. Reporting live in Charleston, Anna Harris, Live 5 News.
All right, thanks so much, Anna. Well, today thousands of people gathered in downtown Charleston for the first time in 2 years to remember Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy.
The event was organized by the YWCA of Greater Charleston and saw more than 140 groups march through the streets of downtown Charleston.
Parade organizers say the country must learn from the past in order to move forward with equality and inclusiveness. This year's theme is Do the Work, and organizers are asking people to take that message and give back to the community.
Well, not only is it a national holiday, I think it's important that we use this day to serve the community. There's been a lot of sacrifices historically made, especially Dr. King and his family. And so today we want to make sure that we're putting and pouring back into the community because this is that important.
Charleston Mayor John Tecklenburg says the city and the YWCA have partnered for more than 50 years, and organizers say they have no plans of stopping.
If Martin was here today, he'd say, thank goodness for those folk in South Carolina. They haven't forgotten my dream. They're keeping that dream alive. Thank God for the work that they continue to do.
In Columbia today, hundreds of people gathered at the State House to reflect on King's legacy. You just heard from the event's keynote speaker, Congressman Benny Thompson. He and several other speakers saying the work isn't done and that South Carolina must learn from history.
We must continue to fight forward. We cannot go to sleep. As a matter of fact, I think we've been sleeping too long. We got to wake up. We've got a lot of work to do.
Now, this was the first year since the pandemic that King Day at the Dome was held in person. The theme of the event was, if it happened once, it can happen again. Many speakers talked about a federal court's recent ruling that struck down South Carolina's first congressional map, which encompasses parts of the Lowcountry, for being racially gerrymandered. Speakers urged the crowd to get out and vote in future elections, saying not voting has its consequences.
Well, a monument meant to honor Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and his wife Coretta Scott King's legacy is instead stirring controversy. The 20-foot tall, 40-foot wide statue called The Embrace was unveiled last Friday in Boston. The art piece has sparked criticism and mockery online, with some people saying it resembles a sex act.
And art is powerful. And the pen is mightier than the sword. I get all of that. But that did not bring people together. It was an atrocity.
Is located in Boston Common, where King gave a speech on April 23rd of 1965 to a crowd of 22,000. It was inspired by a photograph of King and Scott King that captured the two hugging after he won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964. This piece was designed by Brooklyn-based conceptual artist Hank Willis Thomas.
Tomorrow, South Carolina senators are set to debate one of the first bills of the new legislative session, giving public dollars to families for private school tuition.
The bill would give up to $6,000 for families to pay for private school tuition. The money would be limited to only families that qualify for Medicaid.
If passed, up to 5,000 students would be able to participate in the first year, eventually going up to 15,000 in the program's third year.
Lawmakers say they would start out with a pilot program, which would cost $90 million. This is not the first time a bill like this has been debated. Last year, a similar bill died after lawmakers could not compromise over testing for participating students.
Leaders in the House say a voucher bill is also one of their priorities.
Well, next on Live 5 News, President Biden surrounded by controversy in recent days after attorneys say additional classified documents were found at his home in Delaware. What lawmakers are saying about the situation.
Multiple sources say there could be more searches ahead for classified documents at locations connected to President Joe Biden.
Biden's team has searched a private office in Washington, D.C. and his two homes in Delaware, where the White House says files may have been shipped during Biden's 2017 transition out of office as vice president.
The discovery of additional documents being found at his home in Delaware has seen more questions arise about what security was in place to protect them. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle saying they want to see assessments done. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy today saying they're still working to learn more.
I think we want to collect more of the data, more of the information. Are these all the documents? Are there more out there? I mean, I know the White House tried to say it was all cleared up on Thursday. Now that we find there's more documents, I think there's a lot of questions that continue to raise, and we want to get all the information possible.
It's it's not clear who would conduct any future searches or where they could take place. President Biden has used other office spaces and his family has rented a home in Northern Virginia. Well, one of the deadliest single attacks since Russia first invaded Ukraine has killed at least 40 people, with more than 24 still missing after a missile hit an apartment building over the weekend.
Today, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky called the Russian attack a, quote, war crime. Emily Schmidt reports on the search for accountability and survivors.
Amid the debris of a missile-destroyed apartment building in Dnipro, Ukraine, there is so much devastation, hope is almost impossible to hear. Rescuers have been calling for voices, looking for signs of life since a missile hit here Saturday. It's the deadliest attack in Ukraine in months. Though there have been some rescues, Ukraine's State Emergency Services says more than 36 people, including children, were killed. At least 25 more are missing. Ukraine's president says Russian people need to speak out against the violence.
Your cowardly silence, your attempt to wait out what is happening, will only end with the fact that one day these same terrorists will come for you.
Ukraine's security service blames a Russian cruise missile, but the Kremlin blames a Ukrainian air defense missile and denies it targets residential areas.
This is not only state terrorism, this is an example of what is unfolding as a policy of Russian genocide against the Ukrainian people.
The State Emergency Service says rescuers have cleared more than 8,500 metric tons of rubble since the building was hit. Even children are helping, bearing the burden of what their president calls a war crime. I'm Emily Schmidt reporting.
Coming up on Live 5 News, a warning today from the South Carolina Real Estate Commission about vacant lot sales. What to be on the lookout to protect yourself.
Live 5 News. Now, your first alert forecast from Live 5 News.
Hey everybody, Chief Meteorologist Bill Walsh late here with you on a Monday night. I hope you had a great holiday. By the way, thank you for staying up late with us here on the night shift. We always appreciate that. Let's talk about your next 24 hours. Couple of changes coming up. We're going to get a little bit warmer. Not going to rule out a little rain by tomorrow evening, tomorrow night. For the overnight tonight, though, still cool, but not as cold as it was. We'll go with increasing clouds, still a little bit chilly, but not too bad. Here comes our Tuesday, and once again, partly sunny and warmer. So you're going to see those temperatures starting to come up a little bit for tomorrow. And then for tomorrow night, we're going to have some showers developing as a weather system just kind of squeezes off to the east. No rain tonight. If you work in the late shift, getting up early tomorrow morning right now, looking pretty good from the coast all the way back toward the lakes. The rain continues just out to our west in the upstate of South Carolina, back across the Tennessee Valley. That frontal boundary out there is going to continue to work its way eastward. And again, we'll increase our chance of rain by, say, tomorrow evening into tomorrow night. Here's a live picture. Take a look right here as you look across the double diamonds. Not a bad looking shot right there. High temperature today, normal by the way, 60. We get up to 65. Hey, that's not bad, right? A little chilly this morning, but we're out at the parade this morning. Great time. Great to see everybody out at the parade this morning. It was, though, by afternoon, back into the mid-60s. 48 right now, southwest wind at 6. Falling barometer, humidity at 66%. And around the low country, we are in the 40s. Walterboro right now, 46, 48 up there towards Somerville and Nexton and out toward Del Webb. Around 49 out in St. George and Harleyville and all the way back up toward Orangeburg. 47 degrees right now. 46 Moncks Corner, 46 King Street, 46 back out toward Georgetown, McClellanville, all the way back toward the Isle of Palms, Mount Pleasant, some upper 40s to low 50s on the beaches there. In fact, 50 degrees out at Kiowa. If you're thinking about the morning, again, we're going to be talking about a bit of a cool start, but then we will start to warm up by the afternoon. Why? High pressure right here off the southeast will start to tap some of that warmer air, so we'll see a partly sunny day, a mixture of sun and clouds, because this front's going to be moving east, and that's going to bring us that little better chance of rain by later tomorrow. Here's how it sets up hour by hour, so you get that first alert what to expect when tomorrow. Again, out the door 6 in the morning, not too bad. A few clouds, mild. I'll put the clock into motion as the day goes on. It will get warmer. By lunchtime, sun and clouds mixing. And look at this. By afternoon, notice that front just kind of squeezing south and east. It's going to start to run out of gas into the evening. So some of these showers may or may not make it all the way to the coast. They kind of diminish as the front pushes south and east and starts to fall apart. But we will keep a few showers in the evening forecast for tomorrow. High temperatures for tomorrow, though, looking at around 71, 72. So again, we are warming up a little bit. As I mentioned, 70 North Charleston, 71 Goose Creek, about 70 out in Kingstree, 68, 69 out in, Georgetown, some low 70s on the coast. If you've got boating plans for tomorrow, winds mostly southwest at about 10 to 15. It'll be just kind of breezy, a little bit cool on the waterways. Again, talking about low tide that's going to be at about 9:50 in the morning. All right, here it is now for tonight. We're going back to around, as an average, around 42. Some cloudiness, still kind of chilly, but not cold. And we will get warmer once we get past the morning hours. It's going to start to get mild by about mid-morning. And then by afternoon, look at this, 70 degrees. So you'll start off a little cool. Then by the coffee break hour, start to warm up. And then by afternoon, 70, like that. 72 on Wednesday, 75 Thursday. Look at that. That'll be the warmest day of the week with a 20% chance of showers coming back on Thursday. Then by the weekend, a little cooler. In fact, by Saturday, 60, good chance of rain. If you're kind of thinking ahead next weekend, good chance of rain back by Sunday. So put that in your planning then as well. All right, 4:30 in the morning, we will gather right here again. Of course, Joey will have all your weather. Alicia will with your traffic. I'll join you, of course, later in the afternoon. And, of course, on your iHeart radio stations like 103.5 WEZL with that pal Rick Rush. And, of course, scan and tap right there and get the app. Have a great night. Back to you guys.
Well, a warning for South Carolinians tonight. The South Carolina Real Estate Commission says that there has been a rise in vacant lot scams.
The commission says real estate licensees may be contacted by someone acting as a seller looking to sell a vacant lot quickly for below market value. Some red flags the commission says to look out for are barely legible photo IDs, the seller can't meet in person, or they'll accept less than full price.
One real estate agent says he and others can help protect their clients.
Not being attorneys, we certainly cannot practice law. However, we can go to public records, things of that nature, and do our best to make sure that what our client potentially is trying to secure is indeed not a fraudulent situation.
The Real Estate Commission is urging anyone who has been a victim or know of a victim of a vacant lot scam to contact the FBI.
The College of Charleston basketball on the nation's longest win streak, and they're looking to keep it going tonight. Those highlights up next in sports.
Did you get her? Now, from the Low Country's news leader, it's time for the Live 5 Sports Desk.
Well, the College of Charleston moving up to number 18 in the latest AP poll today and back in action just 2 days after taking down Elon on Saturday. The Cougars riding the country's longest win streak, 17 in a row, looking to make it 18 against William and Mary tonight. Dalton Bolin off the miss here on the rebound and the putback. The Cougars on fire out of the gate just to start things out here, up 9-2, out rebounding the Tribe 6-0 early on. Ante Brezovic fighting inside the paint with two guys on him off the glass to go up 11-2. Brezovic. Game high 17 points, 5 rebounds off the throw in there. Then Dalton Bolin from the corner here for 3. That one going to be Rain Smith. Cougars up 16-4, 4 minutes in. And then Rain Smith again right there. And then Ben Burnham for 3 there. Burnham 13 points off the bench tonight. Second half, all Cougars still. It's Ben Burnham again here. The College up 29 with 6 minutes to go in the game. And Rain Smith 4 threes tonight. The Cougars knocking down 16 triples tonight from 7 different players. That's a new season high as the College of Charleston wins 82-54. That's 18 straight wins for the nation's 18th ranked team.
We got into the game really good. Our defense was solid. We were distributing the ball really good in the first half. I thought we were just doing, what the game plan told us before the game, and it was. From the first minute, we controlled the game, and I'm really proud of my guys and coaches. Took care of the business, and on to the next one.
It's great for the fans. It's sold out arenas. People love coming to games, supporting us, and so grateful for it. Like Bill said, it's awesome to play in front of those crowds and stuff. But it's something that we can't get caught up in. It's outside noise, and it's on to the next thing. And
And the Clemson Tigers also entering the AP Top 25. Them for the first time this season. Clemson's 72-64 win over Duke this past Saturday, landing them at the number 19 spot in the country. The Tigers improved to 15-3 on the season and a perfect 7-0 in ACC play. This is the first time in program history that they've won their first 7 conference games. They now sit on top of the ACC standings with a 2-game lead. And Gamecock football fan favorite to carry on Joyner, an all-time leading scorer, former kicker Parker White, both in town this weekend signing autographs and chatting with Low Country fans at the Fan Zone in North Charleston. The Fort Dorchester alum Joyner announced on New Year's Day he was returning to South Carolina for one more season. One big reason for his daughter, who's due in March, to experience Willie B. And White, a Wando alum, signing with the Packers last week. Here's both players on their recent decisions.
My fitness business for myself personally and as a team, and third for my daughter, for my family. It would have put me in the best situation. I'm all about stability. I come from a 2-parent household, and I want to be as present as possible. You know what I'm saying? So that was priority to me, being there for my family, my girl, and my daughter being stable.
So until a few days ago, I still was unsure what my future was. So it's definitely been like a wild year or so of kind of just being ready at all times, and trying not to get burned out of it, because it can be easy to kind of let your head sink and be pessimistic about the future, but I tried to be as optimistic as I could and be ready for opportunities, continue to send out film, and thankfully, Green Bay's given me a chance.
And round 1 of the Australian Open today for the Low Country's own Shelby Rogers. Rogers will check in here first set. Rogers with a nice serve here, the return. It would be way out, and that would make it 2-2 Rogers. She would actually take the first set 6-4, second set 3-2 Rogers advantage. Hartono, that's who she's playing, unable to return the serve again. 3-3 in the second set. Then Rogers up 4-3 now. Watch this shot, nicely placed down the side. Shelby Rogers would go up 5-3 in the second set, and Shelby, she wins it in 2 straight sets, advancing to the second round of the Australian Open. This one final score 6-4, 6-3. Congratulations to Shelby. We'll be cheering her on throughout the Australian Open, hoping that's a long time. That's all for sports. Now let's get one last look at weather.
All right, thank you, Summer. We are talking about 70 for tomorrow, and temperatures are going to stay back to pretty much the low 70s. Wednesday, 72. On Thursday, look at that, 75. It's going to warm up. Some showers possible tomorrow evening, so we'll keep you posted on that. And then by the weekend, a little cooler Saturday, and by Sunday around 64. So and some rain on Sunday. We'll update that 4:30 in the morning right here, fully caffeinated as we are right
445 degrees is the
Is
low.
It's 4:45 Saturday night.
Wow, that's cold.
Wow.
Wow, that's minus. Woo!
My goodness.
No fear.
No, just write that. Just change that in the write that at home. And,
I might prever that to the cold.
I know,
honestly.
right?
Bring the heat on.
There it is.
Yeah,
You
it's
get so
summertime.
You get so much here.
Have a great night.